Silent prayer, please. Amen. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call of board members. District 1. District 2.
Present.
District 3, present. District 4, District 5, District 6, District 7,
Present.
District 8.
Present.
And new business.
Mr. President, I think before we adopt the agenda, if we could move line item M to be under C. So with this long, lengthy agenda, folks don't have to wait on that.
M,
Yeah, move it all the way up to C, or up under C.
under C. That's the property sale, Georgia, sale plus. You want to get M? Freedom.
M is considered declaration of surplus.
Right.
Yeah, just want to move it up. So,
I know.
Some people don't have the right agenda.
You don't have. Do we? Is this the same cat? Is that different? Let me see yours. Yeah. That's a different. It's correct. Let me see your old one. I just have them. I have one. Who needs this one? Great. Ms. Page, got an extra?
Oh, yes.
Can I get one? Thank you. Yeah. Give you, give me one I vote on. We're gonna move with H. Ms. Crawford. We're gonna move with H up to G. Because that's the,
I think what we need to do is we need to add our Mr. Green to make sure that we consider cashing out the CD at
cash.
Tensile State Bank to cover payroll expenses. That needs to be added, and we need to put that in behind G.
IG.
So it would read, consider cashing out the CD at Tensile State Bank to cover the payroll expenses. And we can do that after Mr. Green, we go into executive session, and then he gives us the financial, which will kind of nicely with that. What about the document that I had a question about, that resolution, do we need to add it or not? About the 32,450 from the tobacco fund, do we need to add it to the agenda?
Did you ever see it, John?
This was in our packet, but I didn't know if it went somewhere on the agenda.
I'd like to give you information on that. I came,
I don't email my packet off, they email it, I don't get a paper packet, so I don't know if it was in your paper packet.
It's right.
If it doesn't need to be for this time, that was just in my packet, and that was my question, does that need to be on the agenda?
can you check Ms. Debbie?
Yes,
It's the tobacco money, 32,000.
that's, I think in order for everything to flow like Chris expected it to for the ordinance, that's what they needed to do. I think y'all talked about this last week.
Okay, do you want to do it before cashing out the CD, or?
That'd be fine.
So it would be considered the resolution, or word that,
Consider the resolution to withdraw, monies from the, education excellence fund,
it's an EDM.
yeah.
Consider the resolution to withdraw funds from the EDF.
So we're gonna add that to the agenda, John?
Yes. What
What about,
It would be, G, H is the cashing out the CD, H, I would be considered a resolution to withdraw funds from the EDF, which is the, Education Excellence Fund. It's the background money that we got, lawsuit years ago, when people have been running off of it. It would be I, and then everything else would slide down. Just to keep all that financial stuff together with Mr. Green and them.
we're gonna put it on you say?
Like, consider the CD, cashmere CD would be H.
That'd be H.
And then consider the resolution to withdraw the funds from the EDF fund at the State Department, would be I. And then everything else would slide down the letter.
Add, item new business, we get a motion, but we are adding these items and moving them up to. Fine.
I know that we adjust the items on the agenda as talked about
amendment investment agreement that is added to the agenda.
And Mr. President, ask for a roll call.
Okay. They've been moved and it's been seconded. It's been moved by Ms. Hargrave, seconded by who? Ms. Hamilton. That we move these items and add to the agenda. District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3, yes. District 4, District 5, District 6, District 7, District 8.
Yes.
All yes. Can I get up any question? No, audience? Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda? No? I'm sorry. Item B, that received presentation from the representative of Star Academy.
My name's Keith Brown.
Could you come to the mic, please,
Oh,
sir?
over here?
And hit that little button, where you see gray
Sure.
at, just match it. There you go. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Keith Brown. I'm an account executive with no education and owners of Star Academy. We're here to tell you a little bit about Star Academy and answer any questions. We've been around since 2005, started in South Carolina, where they saw students in middle school who were 7th grade, 8th grade, disengaged. They knew they were not set up to be successful to go to high school. How can we re-engage those students and get them excited about learning? Because obviously, somewhere along the line, they got disengaged. Maybe they failed, maybe they had trouble at home. That's how Star Academy first started. Since then, we have over 20, we're in 20 states and have over 100 academies throughout the country. But right now in Louisiana, we're seeing a huge concentration of Star Academy due to its success. Just some of the districts around us, like East Carroll, West Carroll, have Star Academies, including Madison Parish. EVR is going to soon come on board, but we'll have, how many parishes total now?
35 by the end of the summer.
35 parishes by the end of summer. Star Academy is a project-based learning environment where we provide everything that goes into that academy for that project. We ask the district to give us 4 empty classrooms, and then we'll come in and we'll bring all new furniture, all new curriculum, technology, all the training for the teachers to teach that new form of pedagogy, to teach project-based learning. Re-engaging those students excited about learning because they're using their hands. They're learning core subjects, state mandated for leave to make sure they're successful in leave, but they're doing it through projects. Each project module will take students 7 to 10 days to complete. They'll get all their curriculum through this module, and then they'll rotate to a new module. But at the end of that 10th day, they learn about all the new careers they just learned about by working through their module. How many times have students come home to a parent or a teacher, when will I ever need to learn this? Well, no student says that in Star Academy. And we have a state report that we're going to pass out from some of those schools that from last year, 23-24 school year, how not only did their scores increase, their attendance increased because they're engaged now, they're excited, they want to come to school, they're enjoying what they're doing. And then also you're going to see disciplinary referrals drop dramatically because they don't want it. The disengaged student is your disciplinary problem. They don't want to be there. Well, now they want to be there because of Star Academy. So it's a great opportunity for this parish, Madison Parish, to get Star Academy at no cost. Star Academy costs $1 million, and that includes everything in the room, everything in the academy, and that's 3 years of unlimited support. After those 3 years, you still own everything. It is yours. We provide all professional development, all the training for those teachers for 3 years. We'll also make sure that the equipment and everything is fresh and new, and that students are engaged. We have an ESS, which is an educational support specialist, that will visit the school at least once a month. It's way more than that, but at least once a month to work with the teacher, work with the principal, make sure the students are engaged and are using the program with fidelity. Because we know when you use it with fidelity, you're going to see dramatic results. Now you're probably wondering, well, how can this be for free? It can't be. Well, since we've had such great results around the state, Workforce Development has allocated cabinet funding for this program. And this year, we're seeing a lot of our new districts, like East Carroll, putting in the high school. Now, Kate Brumley, it uses the Star Academy as part of this turnaround initiative, and that's how Griffin Middle got Star Academy in their 7th grade. So part of Kate's prescription approach to turnaround schools is using Star Academy at their middle schools. But we're seeing this great success in a lot of districts taking advantage of this cabinet funding while we have it, because we know there's so many federal cuts going on right now. And if you have the funding, we should take advantage of it. Do you have any questions for me about the Star Academy?
How does this coordinate with state plan?
Sure. I'm going to let Alex tell you. She's our curriculum. This is Alex Bikini. She is our program expert, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the curriculum.
Hi, everyone. So our program aligns with state and local standards. Our curriculum design specialist will actually come in and meet with the district team, the curriculum team, the principal, any district administrators that would like to be there to make sure that our modules are aligned to state and local standards.
So is this for a whole group, or is it supposed to be a small group class?
So Star Academy caps at 80 students, that's 20 students per class. We do have some districts that put an entire grade level in if they have 80 students in 7th grade. If they have more than 80 students, then they do a student selection process, which is something that we actually work with the district on. We have student selection criteria. We can focus on students that look at their test scores, we can look at attendance, we can look at behavior, but we really focus on those students who are kind of your bubble or your cusp kids that don't learn well in a traditional classroom and might excel in a hands-on project-based learning environment. Any other questions?
Like you said, there's cost to the district, so later on, like, you need to get set up, will it have to be like, training, or teachers have to do like extra hours or whatever that cost to the district funds?
There is no district cost for extra training, so there's one of the prongs from our partnership is unlimited professional development, and that is actually facilitated by the educational support specialist that Keith mentioned. If the district has available PD days that Star Academy teachers can use, we will gladly come in and give additional PD during those days. If there's a new teacher or teacher turnover, we guarantee professional development within 48 hours. And then we also will come to the site and give PD as necessary and as requested by the teachers or the administration.
One of the concerns that I have is that we're going to a RIF. And it's not totally finished yet, and school starts in less than 3 weeks. And so getting this off the ground on top of everything else we're doing, we're not even quite sure exactly what teachers are going to be where in some of the situations. So this is going to be a heavy, big lift just to get the organization of this off the ground. And we looked at the contract, so it suggested that we have assign an administrator or counselor to oversee the program.
So we just recommend that you do that. The reason we do that is because our educational support specialist will be there once a month. At the end of every visit that they have, they will debrief with someone at the school. It's important to us that we maintain that partnership and build the bridge, so we're making sure that we're growing together, and then we're also targeting the areas that are not working.
Yeah, so, because like in the RIF, and I don't know if you heard like in the agenda, we're just have to cash in the CD, we're trying to cover payroll. Everybody may be taking on extra jobs, and I'm just concerned about if there was an administrator, you know, we don't want to get into this and say, oh, this is too much, now we have to hire someone. There is no money for us to hire anyone.
No, that's what we're trying to say. This isn't a new role, so this is someone that's already going to be on campus. So whether it be an assistant principal, that's usually a case, and it's not a heavy lift, it's just a contact person. So our ESS, when they're visiting the school, they want to make sure that they're there, because they're going to be visiting their teachers, visiting the students, and they want to share that what's going on with the Star Academy. You know, good and bad, what's going on.
The ESS will do that at a school level, and then Keith and I will do that same thing at a district level. So there'll be a district point of contact, we'll get with Superintendent Butler, Ms. Bell, and go over the data that we're collecting and we're seeing, so that we're all on the same page of how the program is
So
operating.
what about the required professional development?
So there are 2 regional days of PD that are required for new Star Academy teachers. However, with the speed of implementation and the fact that school is starting soon, we would supply professional development on site if teachers cannot make that PD.
So when do teachers report, so is it August 4th?
I think it's August 11th.
11th?
Teachers for
And students, August the 11th?
So where did you say y'all professional development at?
We do it regionally, so we just got out of the one in Morello Middle, which is Madison Parish, and I'm not sure, where's the next
So
one?
we have one in Haywood, Tennessee, which is this week, so the teachers would obviously not be able to make that one. We do have another one coming up. We're trying to plan in Tangipahoa Parish, but if the teachers were not able to make that, then the educational support specialist would facilitate a PD on site at the school.
Does it take a 2-day?
2 days of training.
That would require both children. I'm telling you, this is how high it is. I mean, this is how desperately high it is. I was looking back over this. After the 3 years of support, what happens?
As I mentioned before, you own the academy. Then we'll talk about it and look at the results we've had over the 3 years. And if you want to continue that relationship, we can continue it in a lot of different ways. It's the same amount of support with your ESS visiting every month, or we can back down. It's an a la carte thing, but it starts right around $5,000 for continued support, and we can go up to as much as $70,000 depending on what level of support you want. But like in Jefferson Parish and Tangipahoa Parish, Jefferson Parish, they're in their 4th year. They just renewed for all their schools that are their legacy schools for 4 years. And so did Tangipahoa because of the great results we've had.
Is there a possibility to do like a small group pilot?
Absolutely. And we can start with less than 80 students. You can choose the amount of students, the district can choose the amount of students they see fit, in conjunction with working with the principal, and then see where it goes from there, how it works best for you.
Yeah. Like, so we did this in Refuge Parish, and that's how it persevered, and that's how it started. It's a small group pilot.
How small was your group?
I think they had like 12 kids.
12 students. And then the next year they went full implementation. Again, because it was so close to the start of the school year, I actually was the start of the school year, because I like to install that. It was during Thanksgiving. So they did a small implementation, a pilot of students for that remainder of that school year, and then they went full on board the next year. Keep in mind, it's in 3 years, so it's 3 years that y'all have unlimited support and use it in the best way to have the most effectiveness for you guys.
So is this something that we have to do like right away, because we're going through so much in the district right now, as far as finances, that really, it's like, we need to take care of all of that. When you say you need 4 new classrooms, we really put in, we have to put our people to come in and do all of that while we're still trying to get it set up.
We do everything. We just ask you to empty the room. But we come in and build the classroom, and we build it, it's ready for learning. When you come in, you see it's beautiful. It's all new desks, and students, and we didn't talk about the way that students learn, but they learn in groups and small and pairs. So they're always working with a partner. So the furniture is conducive to those students to work like that. It gives them a free desk spot to work with, because we are bringing in microscopes, earthquake simulation tables, rockets launchers, things where students can see and get excited about. It's a great opportunity while we have this money available, because we know it's a crazy world we live in today. You know, what's available today may not be there tomorrow. So it's a great opportunity to take advantage of this funding source while we have this funding source.
So a smaller group would maybe help us get all this other stuff handled and just work with smaller students. And that would be okay.
Yeah, it's sure. It's yours. I mean, we're not dictating to anything of what you do. It's just this, the academy can only take a maximum of 80 students because of the projects, because of the project-based. And there's so many supplies, and you know, we're getting lab coats, microscopes, you know, goggles, everything. You know, it's a lot of equipment, and it's amazing to see it when you have it. But 80 is the max because of the equipment, but you can have as many.
So in your contract, you said the district will provide wraparound services and student supports needed for each student to achieve. So what do you mean by wraparound?
So if there's a student that has an IEP or a 504, the district is still responsible for reaching those accomplishments. Any other questions?
Is there a targeted age group, and also, what's the longest program that's been in the state, and what benefits have you all tracked from that older program?
So I'll start with the target age range. We do target 7th and 8th graders. 7th and 8th graders that don't learn well in the traditional classroom, your bubble kids, really need something more hands-on and more engaging. And then our longest site in Louisiana.
It'd be either Jefferson Parish or Tangipahoa Parish.
In Jefferson Parish, they actually just did a report for their board showing that they did an accelerated model, so 7th graders, students came in, they did 7th grade first semester, 8th grade second semester, and then went on to 9th grade with their peers. And when they went on to high school, they were earning credit at the same rate as their peers. And then also they're all, 85% of them are on track to graduate just like their peers.
And one great thing to mention about Jefferson Parish, when they first did it, it was in Marrero Middle on the West Bank, and T.H. Harris, which is on the East Bank. And they didn't use the normal districts. They bused students from all over the East Bank and the West Bank to those schools. So they went to their feeder high school, which was obviously, it could have been any of the high schools. So that study looked at the students who left those star academies on the East Bank and West Bank, and the success they had in their feeder high schools, that they're graduating and earning credits with the students. And we didn't mention this part, but we have a traditional academy and an accelerated academy. Jefferson Parish runs the accelerated academy. Accelerated academy takes those 7th, 8th graders and catches them back up with their peers who had left them because they had failed or held back. So when students leave the academy, they basically do first semester is 7th grade, second semester is 8th grade. When they leave the academy, they go to high school and they're back caught up with their peers. So that's what happens in the accelerated academy. So it can be a traditional or an accelerated. But with the success of that, we've added 2 new schools in Jefferson Parish on the East Bank and West Bank this year. So they'll be online this year. So we'll have 4 academies in Jefferson Parish. But your other question was, the largest in Louisiana would probably be Concordia. Concordia we're in Faraday High, Faraday Junior, and we're just recently opening an academy this year in their adult learning center.
And by Alien Junior High, there's only 4 in Concordia. Absolutely. So we have a handful of curriculum components components. We partner with Peer Assessment also, and Peer Assessment we have assessments built out to test students' mastery on standards that do align to the rigor of the LEAP test. So that's another role of the ESS also. They'll continuously be looking at the data from the platforms to make sure students are mastering standards. We don't want to see them fall behind.
Any other questions?
Two questions.
Sure.
First, is there any sort of data to back up your program? And second, if they do a pilot now, how is it funded if they choose to go full force afterwards?
It's funded from the very beginning. So if they do a pilot now, it's funded for the whole 3 years. Now that first year for the pilot would count as 1 year. And then it's fully funded for the next year. There is no cost for those 3 years, none, ever, no cost. And that's professional development, equipment, peripherals that go to the projects, everything that goes involved, there is no cost. And they own it.
Okay. And Faraday, were they your first school in the state?
No, the first school was in Jefferson Parish.
Jefferson Parish, okay. So do you have the LEAP score data for them as far as showing growth or not? Is it a significant change?
We have data that shows SPS scores as far as like specific raw lead data, not on the lead rate.
And I know all this project-based and not curriculum-based.
Excuse me, ma'am, I do apologize to you all because they were still talking to me. I supposed to went to the board before she came up to ask the board if they have any more questions. And then I was going to turn to the audience and ask you all. So you didn't do nothing wrong. I should cut it off before. Because I want to recognize the board, and then when the board say things, you know, come to the audience and ask any questions. Board have any more questions for Star Academy?
I just have one more question. You said we did the fund this while it's here. I haven't seen the contract, so if we do a pilot, we start off with 11 students. And later on, as we go along, can we keep adding?
Absolutely.
And we'll be able to get the equipment later down the road.
When we install the classroom, we install 480.
So you get
tables, desks, computers, chairs, curriculum, all for 80. So you will always have that, and the second year you can choose to cap out at 80 students. You can do 11, 20, then 80, but you will have everything for 80 students.
So this would be no cost to the district.
None.
You don't have to pay for teachers.
Well, the teachers are yours. So they're your teachers.
Teacher what?
But if the teacher has extra
The
work,
extra work, you have to pay for the extra.
Well, it's going to be the same teacher that would have taught in a traditional method. So we provide professional development for those teachers, but it would have been your same teachers.
If we do a pilot for 12, then that would be one teacher for 12.
So it could be one teacher for 12, absolutely. As far as the scheduling for the school, that is something, again, that our team can work with the administration on to make sure it is, additional learning for teachers. However, the curriculum stays the same for all 3 years. So that front loading of information that it takes for those 12 students, then that work is going to continuously, the curriculum is going to stay the same for those 3 years.
So that one teacher will be teaching all of those subjects.
We have not, one teacher would not teach all 4 subjects, depending on how the district and the school would like to do it. We typically have 4 teachers, 1 for each subject.
My question is to you all. the principal at that school. He's already dealing with the regular student with Madison Parish with this program. Would that principal be able to conduct and able to check on them, and because the principal is being evaluated, it's being evaluated. Now we have a different group, Star Academy coming. So we also might have to monitor them too. Is that correct? That's the only thing that I look at, is because from the superintendent on down, we evaluate our principals. And my point of view is we have a tough time right now trying to get on the level. Not saying it's not a good program. I want to be able to say if that principal will be satisfied and able to handle this program, and that's the only thing I'm worried about. How much pressure would it put on that principal?
That's a great question, and I completely understand. We want Star Academy and the principal, the students, everyone to be successful. That is a major reason why we have the educational support specialists, and then Keith and I meeting with the district as well. So whatever we can do to support the principal and making sure this is implemented correctly and there's not extra stress on this plate, we want to do that to support. I do think that a smaller pilot class size could be a great move, but again, we're partnering with the school and the district, and those are conversations that we definitely have.
And one thing I would like to point out too, the extra support that we have, we become part of the fabric. You're going to see us a lot. I mean, we're there a lot. So we're there to support you and support that principal and support his teachers. But one thing that you see in every study that I've shared with y'all is disciplinary referrals go down. Absenteeism goes down. And that's one of the goals that the principal is trying to accomplish. And students re-engaged and excited about learning. So I know that doesn't directly relate to, that principal, but are we taking something away off of his plate, but just by getting that engagement?
Okay, another question. Lake Providence, East Carroll, at Star Academy. They have one for the high school, they got one for the middle school.
Right.
And they use them as to help their school where they moved the 8th grade up to the high school. What we used to call them years ago, I don't know if we still call them this now, but we used to call them that if 8th grade do not be successful in the league test and pass, he's promoted over to the high school, but it be called an AT.
Right.
Is that correct? East Carroll, Star Academy, they once, I don't know if it's the same program you guys have, because I checked on Star Academy and I checked with East Carroll. The high school got $500,000 and the junior high got $500,000. I don't know what's the difference, but they have been training their people this summer. They went to our teachers that's going to go to their classroom, that's going to be recruited. They already had 4 sets of training preparing their teachers how to be. Then they just left another training, but it was to quote to try to save academic and academic. So what was the difference where they received $500,000 for each school and we have not received anything? Is it a different version of Star Academy, or is it the same Star Academy they have?
First, I don't know their financial situation, it was 500, it had nothing to do with us. I've been talking to Ms. Brown for 3 years, so, and the superintendent, and we were looking at getting Star Academy, and this is, them moving 8th grade to high school had nothing to do with us. We've been talking, and I've been talking to her about that for 2 years, whether that was gonna actually happen. But Ms. Brown was gonna purchase the Star Academy, try and get the money out of her own money, and now out of her own budget. And when Kate Rumley was talking about what we're gonna do with Griffin Middle, that's when Star Academy was talking about it. And it was $1 million.
It's $1 million. That's right. Right,
And then for the middle school.
the middle and the high school.
And then, and that, she got that academy from Kate Brumley because Griffith was under takeover. And that was in lieu of takeover, they were gonna put Star Academy there.
Okay.
That money came from Kate Brumley.
Okay.
Now, the high school, that, we used TANF funding, and because she still wanted it for 8th grade, because they did decide to move 8th grade to the high school, which will be this year will be its first year.
First year.
Right. And then.
That's why they call them, what, 18, what is it, 18? 19, but 19,
Yeah.
what they moved them?
But they-
19?
And then it's gonna be, and that's gonna be paid for with TANF funding. I don't know.
What kind of funding?
TANF. And that's through workforce development.
It would be the same funding for y'all's academies.
The same monies that are available to you guys.
You may mention that one school district said that they started like an intern. Is there any way we could maybe table it and maybe try maybe we could get an intern because?
Not receive the money. There's milestones that the workforce with TANF dollars that have to be met, and they have to be met in the next 3 to 4 months. So to reach those milestones, we couldn't start at the end of the year.
Don't y'all have a contract?
You have a contract, yes.
Already signed?
It is something.
Okay, so we can avoid.
There's other milestones like design meetings, installation, professional development, things throughout.
So, as far as you all going on to the contract, or we even find out about it, and you just come in and y'all give us a presentation, and we have to go on the spot, but the contract is already signed, or you are.
Well, we can void that contract. We got 30 days and
What I'm
not
just saying, it's like it's kind of backwards.
Yeah,
Because we should have had this presentation, had
Yeah,
time to
give us a
talk
chance
about
to
it.
do it. Yeah.
Do our own research, when we come in and we get a 35 per hour presentation, and we just have to decide, or we can do our own research on it.
I understand, and we had that conversation with Dr. Butler, and we're having, and it's recently he came up here today. We want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and making it aware to everyone. You know, with the timing of this, it's never great when you're doing government funding, especially when it's outside of the educational world, like TANF funding, because it doesn't align the schools.
But I think to be fair to you, you're coming in on us being in a really bad situation that we don't quite trust because the money is so few right now. And I think that your program's probably an excellent program, but we have a lot of stuff on our plate, we can see our agenda a mile long, and bigger fish to fry that we can only handle so much. I think where we're at.
Then when you say it's a lot of hands-on, then when we say one teacher to 12 students, and it's a lot of hands-on, you say telescopes and doing a lot of science, and she'll need assistance.
So I can also walk through what a module looks like, so you have a better idea. Those
I don't think we have time. I mean, we
I'm
like
just saying, as far as us trying to save as many people in the system, that we want to have to do what we're doing. Then when this in, we have to still go and find teachers for this, and so we have a chance to, we still just in a lot right now. I love this program, I love small groups, and I love hands-on. It's just time is just, and in this class.
And I wish there was more we could do about the timing. It's an opportunity that we presented to quite a few districts, and most have taken advantage of it because the money is here. And as you mentioned, it's a tough world we live in today because funding's being cut everywhere. And this is an opportunity to take advantage of funding while it's available. And as I mentioned, it's a 3-year contract. We can start in a small group, in a pilot, for this year, and get everyone comfortable, acclimated with the program, while still taking advantage of the funding while we have it. And then really kick off next year with a big, we'll have more students involved in it. But I'm gonna tell you, when we do it like that, a lot of students, when they see what's happening in the Star Academy, they're like, how do I go in that? I want to be in there. And that's what happened at Carter C. Raymond. That's one reason why Rapides now has 2 more academies at Alfred Smith.
And I think some of the concern is the training of the teachers. Now, we already have PD days set up in the district already, where if it was approved, we wouldn't have to pay the teachers extra training days because we have PD days already scheduled to come up. Having Ms. Bell here, she's over, she's partly over PD days. We've already discussed that those teachers be in their own sessions with you guys in PD. Do you want to add anything to that, Ms. Bell?
And we can do that PD on those days. I mean, so it's not taking them away from it. If they are set in schedule, then we can meet that schedule, and we'll do the professional development on those days.
Mm-hmm.
So they won't have to be
travel.
No travel.
No, it's coming here.
Just here.
The furniture hadn't been delivered yet, and it's scheduled to be delivered when?
It is scheduled to be delivered, I believe the install is on the 23rd and the 24th of this week.
Okay, so it's Wednesday and Thursday?
I did speak with the maintenance supervisor. It is doable to clear the classrooms out and polish the floors. And then we come, our whole team has everything delivered on the 23rd. They install furniture and tech on the 23rd, and then they install curriculum on the 24th. Again, our team does all of that. No additional costs.
And we do have space at the middle school, right, Ms. Georgia and Alfred?
We have the space, we got maybe setback today, so those days will not be doable.
Okay, Alfred, we do have those rooms available. We have to schedule the time. If the board approves, we have to schedule a time for delivery.
We're right in the middle of trying to move schools, consolidate schools, and trying to get a budget that we can live with. We're not really taxpayers on something new. I know you have a good idea, but this is the wrong time.
Any more questions? I think we have one in the audience, Ms. Bell.
Yes, so the first thing, I think that we're constantly looking at what we can do, what we shouldn't do, when we really need to just figure out how we can, because the opportunity is available. Sometimes the opportunities that we want don't come at the same time or at the right time. We have to take advantage of them when they are there. Secondly, we are talking about the students who are disengaged. That means that these students they don't want to be in school. And we already have a difficult time trying to just get them, bring them in. They got stuff going on. So this is the opportunity for them to use their hands in order to build critical thinking and analytical reasoning skills. It's free. We're looking at the money. It is free. Let's figure out how to do it instead of focusing on why we can't do it. We have to look at things differently if we want to move the city forward, in the district forward.
Thank you all so much. Very good presentation.
Any more questions from the audience? Board Member Hamilton did bring up a point, and the bail is not, it is not that when somebody brings something to you, and this is our first time hearing them make a presentation. We all concerned about our students. Every board member here, we concerned. But when somebody brings something to you for the first time, then it shouldn't be a rush thing. Anybody is for, in the district all my life, we all concerned about academic. I promise you we are. Everybody at this table got somebody that's in this district that is related to us. So there's nowhere in the world, there's nothing against them. Paula brought up, Ms. Hamilton brought up the governing board. If we see this not sufficient to our taste, and we go monitor, and we see that our teachers, that's why we have to visit to know what's going on as board members. And that contract is 30 days that if we don't assist, right, John? We can avoid that contract.
But it's already signed, so you don't have the 2 more days before it's over.
You don't have the 2 more days, John?
They've indicated that they do not view this as a binding contract. It would be up to you to cancel it if you wanted to cancel it.
Excuse me, John. As board president, everything that we do, we need it in writing. We need that in writing, John.
I have no problem working on revisions, if that's the pleasure of the board.
Is that the pleasure of the board? But I'm asking the board to get ready to do a roll call vote. So if y'all have any questions, you still on the floor with questions.
Mr. President, the next agenda item is to actually consider.
Right.
Now is the presentation.
Yeah, okay.
So we're asking to vote on the contract, and we haven't seen it myself. I don't even have a contract. So we don't even vote on it. I can tell you what the contract says.
Yes, ma'am. I got a copy of it last week for Dr. Butler and reviewed it. It is a provision where the state funds the program. They bring in for 2, I think it's 7th and 8th grade, to give them intensive training. They will comply with the state curriculum. And so it is focused training. And in addition to that, what they're saying is they will train the teachers that are actually offering this instruction. Now, as Ms. Crawford pointed out, there were some provisions in there that could be interpreted to cost us indirectly, that being sending people for PD days and taking people out of the classroom and us having to hire subs. If the board approves it, I would change those provisions to say that PD would be done on site during those PD days that Dr. Butler has already scheduled. The contract also said that we would appoint someone to be the point of contact, the principal or the counselor between the academy and our system. And then we would put in there that either party could cancel. So that's the gist of it. Yes, sir. Dr. Butler, have I captured it?
I don't have a problem with trying to educate our students, put them on a different level. I'm just saying right now at this point, with the things that we're trying to get school started and get everybody to where they need to be, right now, far from that. And to add extra stuff on the table is entirely too much. I'm not saying it's not a good program, I think it is. And I think but we have several programs in the district that we need to work on to make them work. We can't keep adding programs to the district and none of them they're not fulfilled. So why not work on the programs we have now with the state of the condition that the system is in right now? Then later on down the line, if a program comes up, say, hey, there it is. But at this point, and it's only my view, is that we work for as implement the programs that we already have and making them work. We keep adding programs, and none of them is possible.
Yes, sir. And I agree with you on that, but I just wish you had said last meeting we had last.
Yes, I'm saying.
That you didn't want it to be on the agenda, because we spoke about John checking into it to make sure that it wasn't a cost on our report. And we could have said it if we didn't have this much.
That's
all.
Yeah, I understand what I'm saying. Yeah, but the thing is, if we had known beforehand, I mean, if we came to the board and said, look, we're looking at Star Academy and we want them to come, tell us, let us know what it's gonna do. But instead, we sign contracts and then tell us. That's not the way it's supposed to go. We're supposed to be, we can't decide, we can decide, but at least we would have known about it. We didn't know anything about it. All we got a Star contract.
Yeah, but they just
Yeah, we know about it, in the past, if the contract did not, require any funds, normally I would sign those contracts. I met them at a conference down in, last conference we went to, Lake Charles, and, the East Carolina superintendent and the Concordia superintendent, they spoke highly of this, and it was just a few weeks ago. So it ain't like it was a long time ago, and we had such a quick turnaround time in order to get it done. So that was the reason for for it to have such a little time to get done. So some of her concerns are legitimate concerns. She's thinking about programs, and we have people in place to help the principal. Ms. Lovett and I, we met today. We said there are things that we would do to help and assist the principal. We were looking at the end goal. Faraday, East Carolina look in the same situation that we're in with limited teachers, same population, and they have, this program had helped them to achieve. So that was the reason for it. But again, he just told you that you could void the contract if you choose to, since that's the big issue with the board. You hadn't looked at a contract in all this time, and all of a sudden we want to look at it further. We told you there's no money involved in the district. I don't want to spend any extra money as well. So you have your vote. Go ahead and vote. And
You coming to us as though we did something. We didn't do anything. What should have happened is you should have came to the board and said, I'm looking at Star Academy for this year.
and that's what I did.
Yeah, after the fact.
That's correct, because I just told you, we just got the information. We just got the information a few weeks ago. Right, Mr. Brown?
So
We
we
just got the
rushed into
information.
it. We only got the information 3 weeks ago.
And why are we rushing? Why are we rushing into it? Because of the time. I didn't create the time.
So continue.
Okay, as far as talking to the principal, assistant principal that's gonna be over this Parish School, we've done about it.
I spoke with the principal. We had a meeting with the principal, and we had a meeting with Alpha, Mr. Lovett, as well as the Star Academy. We hadn't met with the assistant principal yet.
So they're not aware of the assistant duties that they'll have to do with this program?
The same duties that they would normally have to do with observing and doing anything else.
It's not added, we're not asking for added duty, it's just someone that we would have a point of contact, someone that the ESS would feel comfortable talking with. It doesn't even have to be the assistant principal, it can be a head teacher, a lead teacher, or anyone. Just someone who can be a point person.
And the reason for an educational support specialist is to take away or support with a lot of those responsibilities. They'll support and look for observations. They'll collect and analyze data. They'll have debriefs with the principal so that everyone is on the same page about where students are growing and where we need to target instruction.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Go
But
ahead.
this is just my suggestion.
Yes, ma'am.
A timeline. Like, you know, of course, school is about to be starting, all of these types of things. My suggestion would be creating a timeline that's gonna eventually get you to where you wanna go. Like, you're gonna go through the process of starting school and all of that. So I'm just gonna throw out mid-September, beginning of October. This is where we're gonna really focus on getting this established. I like to problem solve, figure things out before I say, hey, no. And, yeah.
So can I ask the board a question? Can we, and Dr. Butler, I think that to give him, I'm calling the academy too. I know you're trying to get the furniture. You say Wednesday or Thursday. Is that correct? Huh? In the near future, furniture. Okay, so this is what I can ask. Can we, well, really, say we didn't have a contract, make the board go into yes, no vote? John, would it be permissible? It should only be the item on that agenda for Thursday. Or you want to vote now? Consider, we discussed it.
You said discuss, consider.
Okay.
I just want to say, when this bill mentioned the timeline, first you got to get this Jordan. You can't start nothing until the board is ready.
Yes, ma'am,
So
and
you have
I,
to start with her first to see where that's going. Those four plans going to.
So I have spoken with Georgia, and she did let me know that the rooms could be cleared out and the floors could be waxed for the installation. Yeah, I just found that out today, yeah.
But, any more discussion? Can we get a motion on the table to and Sally consider Star Academy?
I make a motion that we pass and say no on this, and it's not about not wanting to do something good for the kids. It's not saying that your program is not good. It's like, this is last minute. We already have a recovery school district superintendent that will be on the scene when school starts. There's going to be programs in place that hopefully are coming from her with the help. If you look on down route, we've got a legislative agent that's going to be on campus. There's big changes coming. I think our folks need to be not have as much on them, and let's take the initiatives and the things that we're doing and with the recovery school superintendent and do them well. And you can take anything and not have 4 or 5 things and go forward and do that one thing well, students will achieve. And we need to focus on that. So that's my motion.
I agree.
Ms. Sally? Yes, Sally? It's been moved by Board Member Crawford, second by Board Member Hargrave. Roll call.
Mr. President, ask for vote.
And comment, Penny? Any comments, Penny?
Now we're voting to pass, not do this. So a yes woman if you don't want to do it.
So my last question is, do you all specifically have something for 7th and 8th grade? Like, can you all elaborate on programming? Because middle school is a pivotal point in their academic career and emotional and mental well-being as well. So what programs do you all specifically have for 7th and 8th grade?
Miss Bailey.
Because you all say you got a lot of programs, so I want to understand what programs y'all have.
It's two Miss Bailey up in here.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. That's my fault. Okay.
And you go to the people we don't hire.
Okay.
First, protocol. Dr. Butler. Do I have permission to call Miss Bell?
Absolutely.
Miss Bell, she come up. And she asked, what programs do we have? I don't see our Miss Lovey here. And you are the next one to Miss Lovey to let us know, do we have other programs that we can attend our 7th and 8th grade students? And I feel that all the money that we have spent, we should have something in place.
Right now, we're working on with Parents School Board, with middle school, and through that program, we did show a lot of things, on our 24, 25, schools, some work there. And I think we all do Parents School Board.
I think.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. Thank you, Ms. Bell. Now I'm going to have a motion on the table by Ms. Crawford, second by Ms. Holland. To go to consider contract, Star Academy. District 1.
How do you say you vote yes?
We can do the wording he said, we're going to vote to consider. So if you don't want the answer to be no, if you do want the answer to be yes.
It's out here. If you want it to be what? If you don't want it, it'll be no. Okay, District 1.
No.
District 2.
No.
District 3, no. District 4.
It's hard for me to say no, because anything that will help educate and teach our kids, I'm not against. But I know most of you all on cameras is no. So respectfully, I'll just say no, and I just want to be no. I don't think that's necessary. Anything to help the kids, we shouldn't. No.
District 5.
No.
District 6. District 7.
I'm trying to deliberate. I don't think none of us is against studying the children. It's just like you said, we create all our explanations. So I'm saying no, but it's not helping the children. It's not nothing like them. So we don't have.
I was supposed to have it done, and I was supposed to be, I just keep it wrong. I said, I have
That's
it
what I
done.
said, maybe my opinion, I want to speak for myself.
District 8.
No.
8-0. Sarah is failed. When I will move on to item, moving to item M up, where, consider decorating the surplus property sale tax with, Ms. Martin and with the two cap. Is Ms. Stewart here?
Thank you all, safe travels.
Ms. Stewart. item behind you, y'all moving up to the next item. Yeah. Need, we have any more? Everybody have one? You want one to call out? Move it.
Okay. The items on the paper that I just gave you all are surplus items. The only change is being that you all did not approve the, Star Academy, so we will not have that 85, those 85 guests from Madison Middle. But I spoke with, Dr. Rebel, and he does have 20. So the number from Madison Middle would only be 30 surplus desks that we would have. We won't have those teacher fees.
Turn the mic on, please.
Okay, so the changes on the form will be that 85 desks that we would have gotten from Madison Middle. We'll no longer have that 85 desks due to the pilot not being approved. And those teachers desks, we will not have those. But to look at this here, because they would like to purchase some of our surplus items, and you will not have that total 85 from Madison Middle, but we will have, I think, 20, did we say 20, Mr. Rebel? 20 desks from Madison High School and 30 from Madison Middle, so that will be 50. And then we have a few that we have already surplus that's in the old college junior high school.
Now we're gonna go back to
Doing what?
selling this surplus equipment.
We're going to advertise in the papers. And then we have, Toledo Academy here requesting some of those items. And they would like us to give it to them quickly as possible so they can be ready for school, but, Mr. Dyson,
Yes, you're gonna need to advertise and receive bids from everyone.
Okay.
And, so I did, how many weeks ago was in the paper?
2 of them.
2 weeks? Any questions, board?
So the motion is gonna be just to advertise and put these items up for sale, is that the motion?
I'd recommend that you review the list, declare that as surplus and unneeded property, and authorize the advertising and sale.
Okay. What's the those old issues that was in the college junior high school. And they've been there for quite some time, so they may not even work. But it's as either still. No guarantee.
Can I ask you a question? Sure. And Dr. Butler, we got a whole lot of, I know with this item, we got air conditioners in here.
It's on here.
Is in here, so we're gonna, what we doing about that?
Heat and cooling, it's on here.
Oh, it's, okay.
6 3-ton vacuum air conditioning units and furnaces.
Okay.
And then it's like 1 5-ton. So
Each one in here. How many you have in here right now?
I have a total of 9, but I did not list them all because, 2 of them we can use at Toledo Elementary if we have to, right on it, if we have to replace a unit.
Mr. President, before the ones in here, so I'd recommend exploring other options to see, for instance, if the seller would take them back at somewhat a discount from compare.
Yes, sir.
You know, there's a difference between used stuff and the stuff that's in here that is new but unused. So, I would be reluctant to just advertise those as surplus.
That's good. So we would, number, we won't put that in the surplus.
They've been contacted and they wasn't willing to take it back, so we followed it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just saying that I personally would feel comfortable if we explored other options for new equipment other than just a surplus sale. There may be a market for that better than the surplus market.
John, you have advised us, and we're going to take your advice.
Yes.
And that's what I feel that our attorney advising us right now. We just use that surplus item that we have in the whole middle school.
And look, if we can't find an alternative
Yeah,
on
we come
these,
back.
we come right back to do it. But I think that's the most prudent course of action.
That'd be fine, you know.
Other activities, only thing is bringing.
Yeah, they are, and I believe the probably was getting to it because it's an old refrigerator, it uses a refrigerator that's going to be, kind of sort of like outlaw, like at the end of the year,
So
so.
on the list, those are the only new ones.
So you don't distribute stuff.
Okay.
Well, I'll make a motion that we place items, the surplus items, on list to be sold, except the brand new air conditioners, and advertise and take bids for the sale of the surplus items, except for the brand new air conditioners.
Okay, and we also have some surplus items that are at the Powell Junior High School, and we have already advertised those, items, and we would like to just let them give us a bid form so that they can take ownership of those bids that are at the Powell Junior High.
And then go ahead and just give a bid for the stuff that's already been on the list.
Our recommendation is that everything on the list, other than these air conditioners, be advertised and that bids be taken, and the highest bidder takes the surplus.
Okay, so the stuff that's at the old junior high building is not on the list. The only thing that's on the list from the old junior high building is those 4 costly activities.
So there's more items.
There are items that have already been surplus, but we have never removed them, they have never sold them. They're still inside the building.
Is that the items y'all want?
Some of them are. It won't be the full count that they want, but it's some, every some. Very surplus,
And were they were advertised and bids were taken and everything on those?
They were advertised, I don't believe anybody bid them.
Okay. Safest thing is to put them on there, advertise, keep the proof of advertising, have the process. That's the safest thing to do. Folks, we got to realize we're under closer scrutiny now. I'm giving you more conservative advice, but that is the safest course of action.
This guy, you're saying, we can do this.
Do we need a new list because not everything's on this list? Or can I go ahead and just make a motion to put everything on this list plus the old things?
You can have her describe the things that need to go on there, add them to the list, and vote on that list as amended.
Can you tell me, Ms. Georgette, what else needs to be put on this list?
Tables, chairs, shelves.
No one? Ain't nothing for it.
Okay, so here's the real motion. I make a motion to place these items on this list, on the surplus list, except for the brand new items. And then we'll advertise and take bids for the items on this list. And then we'll need to get a new list, Ms. Georgette, and maybe we can, quickly get that through and get those, up for sale. So I'll make that motion. Second.
Who said that? Then moved by Ms. Crawford, second by Ms. Fletcher, that we, been moved and second, that the surplus item that we have, we add and put, one that we didn't have on here. And I got a motion in the second. Roll call. District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3, yes. District 4, District 5, District 6, District 7, District 8.
Yes.
Thank you. Guys, you have any comments? All right, now we're down to approve the bill for payment. We know we just got the bill, so we'll give you this, 10 minutes to look. And, the bills in our yellow folder, we can go through them. If you have any questions, you know.
I thought we used to get who we wrote the checks to.
I think you said the end structure.
Huh?
You already
I
said
thought
you.
that we used to get the name of who these checks were written to, not just the, oh,
It's over the top. Yes, the vendor is on there.
what?
The vendor is on there. We don't write checks unless
I
the
see
check
it.
form approved.
It just says, repairs and upkeep of building. It doesn't have, old Dorothy right there. Excuse me. This is a different format than what it's used to be in. Yeah.
Yeah, you all know, you all know that, the other youth will give us the deals in the package. So since we've been going through this transaction that we've been going through, and with the audit and trying to find, money and bills and payroll and who we owe and don't owe, it's been tough to try to get these bills to us like it was. But I think with Tim now and them working together, I believe that this will be over. That we can go back to the way that we did, get the bills in our packages. Thank you. Who pays it on the office?
So much of your title money has to go, it's a percentage, and then they let us know what they're gonna buy.
I think we ought to be back. No pressure,
I make a motion to accept the bills for payment.
Then move by Ms. Cross, second by Ms. Hamilton, that the bill accept the bills. All in favor, any comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Approve the minutes of special board meeting May 20, 2025, regular board meeting June 16, 2025, finance insurance meeting 2026-25, and a special board meeting July 10, 2025.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes for May 20th, June 16th, Finance Committee, June 26th, and Special Board meeting, July 10th.
Second.
Who second? Then moved by Ms. Cross, second by Ms. Palmer, that we approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye. And now can we get item L? Get a motion second to adjourn and go into executive session.
Make a motion that we go and discuss and go into executive session.
Then moved by Ms. Hamilton, second by Ms. Palmer, and now we're going to executive session.
Need a roll call.
District 1, District 2,
Yes.
District 3, District 4, District 5, District 6, District 7, District 7, District 8,